Have you learned to be good enough for yourself? Whatever the time we are spending here, we realize that we have learned to be good enough for everyone else. It is a type of conditioning, if you understand. What Whatever the time period we are spending here on the face of this planet Earth, we have realized that we are trying to be good enough for others. But it's a type of conditioning which has been handed over to you. You see, I want to bring clarity because once I want to I want to bring clarity in this regard because once you learn to be good enough for yourself solely, if you understand. And that is the main reason, this three-dimensional experience that you are experiencing right now. And you confuse it with life. You see, the way I look at it, life is an energy in its purest form which is running through our body. That's what it is. And in Sanskrit, we have a we have a word in Sanskrit, we have a title for it. And the word and the title is prana. That's how a meditator, that's how a yogi basically looks at it, if you understand. So what you are confusing here, the experience which is being generated, the very experience, the narrow band. Remember, three-dimensional reality. Three-dimensional reality is narrowband, meaning it's life, which is basically what's happening. It look at this three-dimensional reality as a tool to not feel constipated happiness, but happiness all the time, you see. And happiness all the time, frequently breathing all the time. There is no suffocation. Where there is duality, you see, in the mind, then there is suffocation in your breathing. I can bet this carnation. And I know what I'm saying. Where there is duality, when you are double minded, when you want to keep both ways, you want to keep peace, concrete peace, you want to have happiness, but you also honoring duality, every creating duality left and right, every moment and every second, you see, and feeling that we have surrendered to duality and feeling we have become so helpless that we can't avoid it. You see, that's why we the humans are creating mental disorders because of the duality. Duality is very real. It happens in form of a thought in your mind. Thought is duality itself. Because for you are performing without thinking, know that you are perceiving without thinking. You can know without thinking, as my mentor Don Miguel Ruiz mentions in his book, that you literally can know. You literally can know without thinking. What is knowing, basically? We talked about that. We talked about that in numerous retreats, and I brought clarity regarding that. What is thinking? Thinking is, excuse me, what is knowing? Knowing is perceiving, isn't it? Knowing itself is perceiving. Perceiving itself is knowing, like vice versa. You see, and when you are perceiving, you are knowing, you are having no thought, then thought arrives, you see, it tries to show you numerous different aspects. It tries to show you numerous different aspects of what you have gathered, the data. It tries to circulate it. You freak out. You become scared of it. You become so intimidated by this thought. You become so overwhelmed by this thought that you are governed by the thought. And then you look outside. You either try to spread the poison you are carrying within you, or you look for the allies. You see, do not, do not let somebody lead you and tell you what to do. You understand? This is very significant for your spiritual growth. That's why you are not good enough for yourself. You think you are, that others would tell you, but I give you a clear picture. I speak truth and I speak wisdom. My job is done. I'm not pursuing you. I'm not bombarding you with numerous different private messages or private chats. I'm not saying that, I'm not texting you all day long and saying, did you listen to my retreat? Did you like my video? How many viewers I get, or how many seers are following me? All that. This is what we understand as wisdom. Cut all the ties which holds you back, you see, and become authentic. Do not look outside of yourself that somebody would tell you what to do with your life, while they themselves are blind. You see, they themselves are led by duality, but they pose they know everything. That's why in our real or an authentic yogic culture, the first thing we cut ties of is the immediate family. You have not seen a single picture of the person that you understand as father. For me, he's a man. He just happened to be the father in this lifetime. For me, he is just another being. Or my mother. For me, she's just a woman. You know, and I am certain, because my awareness is so heightened, I'm certain, I think she died a couple of weeks back or probably longer. Um, it's not that I was revealed basically through the source, you see. Did you see any type of influence of emotions in me while I have been speaking the words of truth and wisdom? Did you see me posting a picture or anything? The sooner, I'm not telling you what to do with your life, is your life. If you want to waste it, go right ahead. Most humans are doing that, and they are doing it very successfully. They are feeling suffocated from inside because dualities, but they don't want to change the pattern. If you want to change the pattern, you need to work on it. You need to let go of the mind frame you have been handed over. I woke up at 12, I woke up at 12 o'clock. I woke up at midnight, basically, and I prepared myself for my devotion, and I prepared myself for the practice that we understand as Kriya Yoga and Kriya meditation, if you know. And then what happened is I went into a deep samadhi. For at least, I've been in samadhi for at least 2 hours or 3 hours. And then, as I said, that when awareness, when the wisdom is being revealed to you, it is not revealed to you basically in form of words that you are hearing voices or anything like that, you know. And thank God. But wisdom is revealed to you without words. You see, you wouldn't know when you arrive on that step. You wouldn't know, excuse me, you wouldn't know when you arrive on that level of, you wouldn't know when you arrive on that level of awareness, you know. So when I came out of samadhi, I decided to bring clarity regarding this so it would liberate you, you see, and your suffering would end. So in real yogic culture, basically, we cut ties from the immediate family, because immediate family is the immediate bondage. It's very simple. The people are telling you what to do with your life, starting from the immediate parents, isn't it? What to do with your life. Those people do not know themselves what to do with their life. They live a life of 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, or even 100 years. It does not matter, nor it's the point. The point I'm trying to make, lived that long and not even once told you, explore your, live that long and not even once told you that explore yourself. You see, do not listen or trust or believe when it comes on self-exploration. Explore yourself. As Lenin said very clearly, that nobody can tell you what you are. You are what you are. So what I am saying basically is not the matter. It is not the matter of arrogance that what he said, if you understand. It is not the matter of arrogance that he said that he didn't, if you look at this statement, he didn't say it with any arrogance. He told you the same thing that I am pouring out right now. When it comes to explore yourself on, explore yourself personally. That's what I am saying, and that's what the wise people would tell you. And that goes for me. You see, whatever I am saying, do not believe it. You understand that? Don't believe it. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you to believe it. It may come across very strange because the selfless person comes across as strange. Strange it is because most people do not get to experience a selfless person. You know, they get to experience selfish people. That's why we have no trust among each other. Trust in a way that when somebody is trying to be polite, when somebody can see the transparency of thing, and when you see the transparency of thing, you naturally become humble and compassionate. And when you naturally become humble and compassionate, you cannot just hold it to your own self. You go around and spread that love. But when those people who can see the transparency of things, when they go around and try to spread love, we have become so doubtful on ourselves and with others that we the person's intention, the motivation behind it is selfless, not selfish, but selfless, just trying to spread the love around. But that sentiment has become so foreign for us, if you understand. The sentiment has become so foreign for us that we suspect profoundly, we suspect in the back of our mind that what this person wants, what scheme this person is carrying, what this person's game is. You see, no matter a wise person, how selfless and how compassionate the person is, you would always see the person in this context. I see just about every human. I see just about every human in the people I come across in personally, the people I come across there in my vicinity, I see just about every human is suspecting other humans one way or another, or on one level or another, because you do not learn to trust yourself. That's the thing. That's why duality is there. You see, your thought is zero, but you know without thinking. You are perceiving, you are knowing. There is no involvement of thought. When thought comes into play, listen to it. I have told you the reason for that. I'm not going to mention that. But after that, you can decide what you want to do. If it is useless. Most of these thoughts are so useless. So useless. The parasite is growing up. The mind is the parasite for the most part, if not all. Very little it is any, very little it is any useful, if you understand. Very little it is constructive. Very little it is beneficial. You know what beneficial is? You like to get benefits, huh? So very little basically it is beneficial, and rest is garbage, trash, and fear, basically trying to hook your attention. So do not listen to anyone. Experience life firsthand. Listen to me. See if it makes sense, if it is bringing happiness in you, if it is bringing liberation in you, if it is bringing liberty in you, if it is freeing you from duality, if it is freeing you from fear, basically, if it is helping you when you are breathing, if it is helping you in that regard that you have no friction in your breathing, you are not feeling suffocated. When anytime you have duality in your mind, anytime you have any negative emotions within you, or you are sensing fear, or you're sensing duality, you feel suffocated. Life becomes a burden. You see, other day we talked about that life has become a burden. You need to be strong enough now. That this is the point. You need to be now strong enough because some aspects from because we are because we are expected basically at some level and some point we are expected to do our part. You see, countless lifetimes we keep coming back and we still don't have the wisdom that how to handle the freedom that we are given. You see, when you have memory, when you have imagination, you cannot now evolve unconsciously. When you didn't have that, or you had in a very small amount, you were pushed by the nature. Now that is stopped. It means now you have to evolve on your own expense. Are you following me? When you do not, this is memory and imagination. It's in a way is freedom, is liberty. You can do anything about it, and you can become anything about it. But instead of doing anything and bringing and using it as a tool to evolve consciously and spiritually, what you are doing basically, you are freaking out because of these two things, you see, for the most part of your day. And then every day, then it becomes the part of your tendency. You are freaking out. Humans are not suffering bondages. Please know that. Humans are suffering their freedom. Please understand that. I say, I approach things, I bring clarity, and I approach things in numerous manners, in numerous views. I try to approach it from every view that you can approach. That's why there are tons of words around. But if you listen carefully, if your imagination is not haywire, influenced by the memory, that's what happens, then you would know. So do not trust anybody. Listen, learn to listen. That goes for your thought. The same goes for me, by the way. That goes for your thoughts. That goes for your mind. The same goes for me. Do not believe me. Do not disbelieve me. There is a third option, which is listen. And then you can decide what you want to do with this knowledge. My part is done. I am over. That's it. You see, that's all it is. My part is done. I have done my job, rest is on you. You see, you are free. You basically are free to make a choice. You see, you can decide. You see, this is your individual liberty. This is your individual freedom that you can decide. You can choose whatever you want to do with the words of truth and wisdom, whatever you want to do with this knowledge. The parents basically, they are telling you what to do. The same parents were handed over from their parents. The same parents were handed over the same parents were handed over from the parents of them and the parents of them and the parents of them. 50,000 years we evolved to this point where we are right now. And we became farther and farther away from our own self somewhere at some point. Those people are not capable of telling you what you want to do with your life. Humans do not know. You understand? Humans do not know what they want. Humans do not know anymore when they want it. Humans do not know anymore that what is going on. You see why this three-dimensional experience is being generated. This three-dimensional experience is a trap for you. Through the same experience, you are going to shed your karma. Every object out there is a trap. Every dot is a trap. Every small particle basically is a trap to hook your attention and to give you the liberty what you want to do with this. You see, every being is a trap one way or another. I'm not saying that beings are around, because my words can be easily misunderstood, mostly based on your perception of the truth, you see, but only what the truth is in the intention when the words were spoken. If you understand, the truth is in the intention of the person. The truth is in the intention of the speaker when the words were spoken. That's the only truth, you see. How you perceive is not the truth, it's your point of view now. The sooner you perceive it, it's your point of view. You call me names, you go right ahead, call me countless names and try to provoke me. It has no difference on me, because the way I look at it, it has no meanings for me. The moment I agree with the meanings of it, I take the poison. You understand? So all this I am giving you, this liberty and this freedom and this wisdom, basically, to let you know, become good enough for yourself. It's not worth to be good enough for your parents. It's not worth to be good enough for the siblings or the entire society or your husband or your wife or your partner. It may come across very weird. But the thing is, if you are stuck in this three-dimensional reality and the growth is stopped or growth is very slow, you would say what Yaz is saying, it's very weird. Weird is the word that you know. You see, weird is the word that you have practiced. Weird is the word that you try to fill in the blanks because your mind cannot comprehend the truth. I'm not saying that everyone is like that. I know there are people who, as soon as they start listening to this message, they would comprehend what I am saying to you. But for the most part, the way I am experiencing humans, they cannot wrap their mind around something. It's beyond their comprehension. There is an easy way, and the word weird, Yaz is saying it seems very weird, you know, but you do this, you do numerous foolish things. I wouldn't call the word stupid, it's rather strong. You do numerous foolish things just to be accepted. You do numerous foolish things just to be the part of the society. Everyone is falling off the cliff. Everyone is jumping off the cliff. Would you do the same? No, that time you would think, how this is different. This is not different either, because these people, in a way, are falling off the cliff because they do not realize the real purpose, to use everything around you as a tool and do something about your karma. But these people who are telling you what to do with your life don't seem to do what I just said. You understand that? Don't seem to do what I just said. And if they tell you what to do, then they would hook your attention to something which is very useless, and you would lose the whole point, and you would spend another lifetime, which you are right now, without making any progress. And here I am giving you the liberty to make the choice and make progress. It's worth to only make progress when you are free. It's worth to it's worth to only make progress when you are free. It's worth to only make progress when you perceive beyond mind. You see, you are out of the mind. You can even perceive mind itself as you perceive the objects. You know that there are powerful people. You see, they do it all the time. Powerful is not in the petty sense you human know. You see, I'm not saying it with any arrogance, but that's what it is happening. Powerful is not in a petty sense that you know. You consider powerful somebody who's physically strong. You consider powerful somebody who has connection or affiliated with some type of gang. You consider powerful the person looks very intimidating, excuse me, the person looks very intimidating to you. The person is very intimidating. You get scared. You consider powerful with the person of authority. You consider powerful with the person, some person of wealth. That's what you consider. This is your idea of being powerful. The person who is on a higher level of awareness, the person who is on a higher level of consciousness, don't give a rat about all this because it's not powerful. The person who is on a higher level of consciousness can perceive something which is powerful in truth. There are powerful people who do not think, who just know outside of mind. Right now, in this moment in time, you have an assignment basically. Right now, what you want to do basically, you want to find out if there is something beyond mind, because the very mind and the thoughts are the only things that you are still experiencing life, and it cannot be trusted. If you understand, mind cannot be trusted. It can only be trusted when it is prompting you to take some certain action. And if, God forbid me, 1,000 times there is a threatening situation, then listen to it and act on it, you see. But otherwise, if you just keep listening all the time, it would seize you. It would seize the very function. It would seize the very expression of your life. Then die will be done, you know. You would be sitting here or under the cover and you would say everything out there from objects to humans are scaring me. This is where it leads to. And I'm trying to show you another way which does not lead you there, which does not lead you to fear, which leads you to love, which leads you to prosperity. Prosperity does not mean that your bank account again is growing up, not that kind of prosperity. Prosperity is liberty, ultimate liberty. Prosperity is when your happiness is not constipated. Prosperity is when your breathing is not suffocated, when you are not under the influence of your mind. You see, that's what real prosperity is. I earn this much water, you see. So experience life firsthand, okay? Because this world is full of blinds. They do not know where they are going. Do not trust them. They cannot tell you anything. Try to experience life firsthand. I would just leave it to that. And it is very simple statement. There is no rocket science or is equal to MC square is going on. You know that. It is very simple. Try to experience life firsthand. Try to experience life personally. It is as simple as I can make. Even a child can comprehend what I'm saying to you. You understand? Firsthand. Your parents are not going to tell you anything. They were handed over, but the problem with them was they never questioned what they have been handed over, and they tried to push this is good life. You know, my parents, the so-called parents, they were only the parents here. These are these are just foreign beings for me. I have no connection. I have no emotional attachment with these beings, you know that, and I feel more liberated that way because I have transcended the bondage of this. Otherwise, I would just go to work 9 to 5. I would come back. I would see their faces every day. It would happen non-stop, and 365 days a year it would happen, and every year of my life it would happen. I would become constipated. It would lead me to extreme depression, and their life would be over. They have done what they have done. Rest, when I act on these type of bondages, now I have become so feeble because of this routine that I just say, okay, what I do now? These people passed on. What do I do now? I have a life to live, you see. You have a life to live. In this routine, the family and this and that, coming, going 9 to 5, giving birth to children so the parents can be happy that, oh, we have grandchildren and stuffs like that. And it is such a constipated way, the way I look at it, and the sages, the yogis, the powerful people, the potent people spiritually, they look at it and they are absolutely 101%, they are telling you the truth. That's why I'm not telling you that you should do the same. I'm not saying that. It's your life. Do whatever you want to do with that. but I'm showing you there is another way, basically. That's all my job is. I'm not pushing you to make a choice or the decision. I'm not doing that. I'm not pushing you for that. I'm just showing you there is this way. You see what you do with this way. It's on you. It's your life. It's your freedom. You have. I respect your right to make the choice. You see, but I will not stop showing you the alternatives. By the way, that's my job is, and I have the liberty also to do that just as much that you have the liberty to make your choice. I have the liberty to tell you and show you the ways, to show you the options. Absolutely. You see, I don't see a thing wrong with that. And in these circumstances, in this age, in this moment, I'm the one who is doing that. Very simple. So the life becomes constipated with this routine. It wears me out. I become depressed. I have a wife and a few kids. The parents do not know any better just because I listen to them while they are confused with themselves, they carry duality all the time. My life got stuck again. I don't want to waste this carnation while holding the family drama high, no. So we cut all the ties from the immediate family. That's the first thing we do. We have no sentiments, we have no emotion. Now, when I say that, mind you, it does not mean that you forget or you do not take care of them. It can go to every relation we have. When it is around, you nurture it. You say, I love you. It's natural. But you keep one eye. When you say to your loved ones, I love you, you say to a stranger, I love you too. You have one eye for the creation. Nobody is what the word I'm looking for, bypassing in emotions. Nobody is bypassing anyone. You have one eye for the entire creation. You have one eye for the deer, and you have one eye for the beast who is going to rip that deer apart as well. One eye. You see, you cannot just take side of the deer and you look bad at the beast, a lion. You look bad basically at the tiger or whichever the beast is, because there are a lot of things beyond your comprehension. You don't know any better. You see what I'm saying? Remember, I remind you time to time, I am not saying it with any arrogance. I remind you time to time that my words of truth and wisdom, whether written or spoken here on media, are subject to whom it is concerned or to whom it may concern. If you do not see yourself, but you still want liberty, you are welcome here too. But if you are taking offense, the help is one click away. Click the cross, move on. You see, don't waste your time here. It's not for you then. Because you are closed. You cannot know things beyond sensory perceptions and thoughts. You cannot. Because you are closed. You do not know any other way to live. The only way you know to live is through the thinking process, and that's why it is confined to such a small band. It is confined to such a small band. That's why we humans feel constipated all the time, because you are not even close to experience life. There are numerous things which cannot be understood through mind. There are numerous things which cannot be understood through thinking mind. Thinking mind is very limited because thought is limited. The data you have gathered is limited. Then you feel sorry about the deer who was ripped apart, but you condemn in your mind profoundly what this lion shouldn't do that. No, do not question what you don't understand. You understand? Do not question what you do not understand. Instead of questioning and criticizing or tapping what you do not understand, maybe you should make yourself available to understand beyond the thinking process. That's all I am saying to you today. You see, that learn to experience life personally. Duality, dual parents. I want you to do that. I want you to love me. I want you to stick around. I want you to meet my standards. You are not good enough for yourself. If you were good enough for yourself, basically, then you would experience life firsthand. Then you would have clarity. But no, you are not good enough. Then you would understand what life is beyond duality. You see, then you would understand the immensity of yourself. If you become good enough for yourself, you see, but you don't. You become good enough for your parents. You lead a constipated life in a constipated happiness manner, and then before you know it, the game is over. And then when our moment of death basically arrives, we look at the sky, we look around like this, and we say, I didn't even know it's going to be over now. You see, I need more time. No, you were enough. Excuse me. You were given enough time. You were given ample time. You were given more than sufficient time. You see, you were given gigantic amount of time. It's just you didn't know how to manage time. Life is all about managing time with energy. If you understand, the energy as life is all about managing it with time, which is a marker, by the way. We won't go into that. So, my focus remains on the same point. You see, be good enough for yourself only. Because once you become good enough, you become authentic. Once you become authentic, basically, it's only natural that you would go around and nurture every thing in creation in love, peace, and harmony. You see, inwards is the only way out, as my mentor Sadhguru mentions. These are not my words, this is his wisdom. Rest is mine. When I when I feel there is potency of wisdom in a statement from someone, my mentors, I also mention their name because I do not project basically. I do not project a false image, if you understand. I do not project a false image. I have no expectation in return that you hold my image up high. That's liberty, that's smartness, that's wisdom. There is no bondage here. I am free. I am transcended beyond that. You see, that's a smartness. That's a good way to live. You see, and most of that, how I have acquired all this wisdom through my dedication towards Kriya meditation, through my dedication to cut the bondages in my life if they are not helping me. You see, through my bondages to addictions and reactions from other human beings. You see, it's all liberation, it's all liberty, it's all freedom. When there is no tie, there is freedom. It's very simple, you see. When there is no tie, there is freedom, isn't it? If there is basically, if there is tie, the very tie you call tie. You see, what is the opposite of bondage? Freedom. The very tie is bondage. When you take that off, what remains is freedom. Freedom is always there. It was just that you couldn't see that, you see. So, what I'm saying, do not learn, experience life personally. Do not learn to follow what others are telling you, trying to hook your attention towards useless things, if you understand. Because their attention is hooked. They are miserable. Misery likes company. You understand that? It does. Learn to listen. Become authentic. When you become authentic, you perceive love. When you perceive love, when you become authentic, you perceive love. When you perceive love, it's only natural you spread it around. It has to come through a process. It has to come through wisdom. It's not possible for you that you are being miserable in the life you are living and thinking to spread love around. Then you know what kind of love you would spread. What kind of love you would spread is known as passive aggression. You see, we yogis, the meditators, we look at the things, the transparency of things, if you understand. Um, that is what we understand as passive aggression. Passive aggression also is being penetrated. That's the right word I'm looking for in English. Passive aggression is being penetrated in spirituality and has corrupted spirituality. You see, passive aggression, that you pretend a false image. You cannot express yourself because you are timid, you are scared, you see. I'm not asking you to confront people left and right. I'm asking you to become authentic by taking the faith out of the words you see from other people. Do you see the different other side of what I'm saying? So, and when you love around, when you become authentic, and when you love around, you love around one eye for everything. Not it's my people versus your people. It's white versus black, or vice versa, or brown versus white, or brown versus black, or vice versa. You see, it's not, it is not why you are here for. You understand or no? It is not why you are not here to, you are not here to play the pity party of what's been handed over to you. Grow up, grow out of all these superstitions, grow out of all these abstract realities. You see, keep one eye. That's why in the wisdom traditions, the real wisdom traditions, when we show a wise person, a portrait of a beautiful queen, a beautiful lady, or a king, a wise person, a sage, there is an eye in between two eyes. It means this eye is open. This eye is third eye, and it only sees when you, when both of your eyes are closed, these eyes, then the third eye becomes open, and it only sees everything in one way. And you know what that way is? I can even tell you that. That way, the way you perceive yourself, you perceive others. If you have love, you would give it out. If you have misery, you would give it out. It's a given. Um, but it is not possible for you, if you have love, to just hold it back or just to keep it for yourself. It's natural. It becomes a natural process that you give it out, if you understand. So ponder on what I said. Try to experience life firsthand. Listen. Listening is important. These are the brief things in the end. Listening is important. Maybe a good idea can come from somebody, from their relations, from the siblings, from the society. Listening is important. After that, decide. Think for your own self. You see, um, think for your own self. Uh, and when it comes to explore yourself personally. Not nobody can l- lead you to a path to ultimate freedom. You see, not your parents, because of course, as I told you, parents were living their life in duality. You see, they had certain expectations. Just because they were the parents, they thought that they have authority to rule on my life. No, you don't get to rule on my life. My life is my personal liberty. You don't get to tell me what to do. I am going to, my father told me this and that. It's a lot of garbage, you see, as we most humans uh, pass on the garbage to our younger generation, the people who are going to hold this planet, the entire dharma of the humanity. Do you think it's a joke? The life you are living, constipated life in this three-dimensional reality, the narrow band, that is a joke. Anyway, they had some a sense of entitlement, my the people who brought me to this world, just like any other parents. I'm not saying all the parents, but the ones I have seen most of the time are like that. There are free people, and they raise good children because they give them the freedom to think for your own self. If I listen to my father, he would tell me he is against gay. You understand? He's against a particular color, and he, do you think I'm going to listen to some garbage like that? You understand? And if I did, what would happen? What would be the consequence of my energy to this planet? I hold myself accountable. Do you understand? I hold myself accountable for the energy that I bring. on this planet, and so must you. I'm not even saying should. That much English you know. I'm saying so must you. Must means I'm using what the word I'm looking for in English. Intensifier. I'm putting emphasis what I'm saying. Must. And so must you. That's why we can create a society of peace and unity and love. Because if I listen to this so-called father of mine, I would literally wouldn't bring good energy. Neither did he. So that's why I'm saying immediate. That's why in yogic culture we cut the ties from immediate family. Okay, no family. I have one eye for everything. The entire globe is my family. The entire earth is my family. You understand that? But again, there are numerous beings like this guy. Uh, I'm not judging this guy. He was useless though, and passed himself as a spiritual person. But when you speak with this guy, there was not a thing that he said which was useful or making any difference. You see, and he became friend here on social media for a brief period of time. He met me in person, by the way, and he became fascinated with me doing Kriya meditation and Kriya yoga. So I invited him to do that too. So he told me that he has read a lot, basically. He told me that he has read a lot, and what he has read is mostly Osho and Krishnamurti. And I said, what difference did it make in your life? And he was, I know when somebody wants to establish whether I speak with you or I do not speak with you. I can even tell by only looking at you that you want to establish your self identification. You don't want to get past that. You are selfish. You look for the opportunities in innocent people's lives. So one time we were having this conversation and I said, the entire globe is my family, my friend. You are my family. And you know, the look on his face was like he didn't like that I called him my family, you see. But this is how I look at it. And I knew what he is. I could see through. I could, that's demented, that's corrupt. Um, Only other day I um, posted a video about Krishna, not about, only other day I posted a video not about Krishnamurti, but Krishnamurti, okay, first of all, was a pure mystic. And Krishnamurti was answering some guy, maybe like him, does God exist? So Krishnamurti made an excellent point. Krishnamurti said, God is your better self. That's what you think, right? I mean, God is better self, or you tell yourself that God is love. You tell yourself God is omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, right? And God is your better self. So if God is love, then is your own better self. So if God is love, then you must be love too. But why have you become like this? Or why are you like this then? If that God is love, then why are you like this? If that God is love, then why are you like this? You know, he said it very upfront, and I love that mystic, by the way. The brilliancy of his wisdom and the magnitude was beyond perception. You understand? At any given moment. So he said, why are you like this then? What is the matter with you? What is your case? You know, in other words, the case is I'm saying not personally me, and God forbid me, and thank God, not personally me, but that fella, I just gave you the example. The case is I want to keep my poison of selfishness. The case is I want to keep my poison quiet inside me. And when somebody tells me about love and unity, I become agitated within. And when I become agitated within, you know what happens? It reflects on my face. And yes, is a mistake. So he probably caught me off guard, you know. That's a very articulate manner to express. He caught me off guard. In a good expression, a literate expression to say what I want to say. Or, in other words, in a rather more generic expression, I would say, yeah, yes, probably caught me while my pants down. You humans, you want to keep that and then you pretend that you are spreading love? That kind of people have penetrating themselves in spirituality. You understand? And then they are not spiritual. They are far away. It's what the word I'm looking for. They are not spiritual. They are far away. As a matter of fact, it's contrast. Not even contrast. It's totally inverse. One is directly proportioned, that when you raise one, the other would go. And inversely, of course, when you raise, if I am not mistaken, when you raise one inversely, the other would go down. So you want, it's actually, they have penetrated themselves as spiritual, but this is their mind frame, that they want to keep their own identification, their self identification. When somebody tells them about unity and peace and love, they become very agitated. And I caught him literally off guard. And then he started talking about, theories and concepts, or he was not close to wisdom or anything, but he started talking about theories, yeah, and concepts and ideas. And he's trying to penetrate or trying to affiliate, that's the correct word, um, all this to spirituality. And I say, you know what, hell, I gotta go. I don't have time, literally. I am very outspoken. I said, I don't have time for this. You see, I would rather sit in the state of I would rather sit in the state of meditation for longer hours. And I looked at him and I told him that. I said, you go ahead and have your beers and post memes about spirituality. That's why I told him. I said I would rather sit in the state of meditation for longer hours than listen to your chatterbox, because it's not making no difference. You are not bringing anything. You are not changing the dharma of humanity. That's my biggest concern. As a matter of fact, you are bringing it down. And after that, I didn't have no connection. I don't like to be around people like that. I tell them how things are. I give them truth and wisdom through my mouth, and whatever they do with this knowledge, it's on them. I move on. Learn to experience life personally. Do not believe. Listen, as I said. I didn't say do not listen. I said listen, but do not believe or disbelieve. You believe it, you kill it. You disbelieve it, you kill it. Just be open to it. You see, think what I told you today. Be good to yourself. That's the gist. Think what I told you today. Okay, and since the day of our birth, since our birthday, we have been handed over a lot of knowledge since the day of our birthday. But we need to decide what is good for us and what is not good for us. You understand? We are the one who's going to decide that. So ponder on what I said. If you have to rewatch this video, this retweet, please do so. And also, if you have any confusions, any predicaments, any perplex mind frame, you can write me always. I can clarify. Do not go anywhere. We are going to do meditation, me and you. You see, that's what we are going to do. Ganapati Papa, Mama Puria. Ganapati Papa, Mama Puria. Now just remember, I always tell you, just remember the word remember. So just remember, keep meditating every day for as long as you can, okay? Because you are sole responsible for your own well-being. And also remember that I love you. I always have and I always will.